That's a nice one. That's clear water. I thought he was a lot bigger than that. I could see the big mouth coming up. It's a nice one. Oh. Can't show you what I caught him on yet. Can't show you. Gonna tease you a little bit. God, you skip so good. That's just a little tiny. That's a beautiful duck. Oop, there's one. There he is. Nice one too. Skips so good. It's such a narrow, I mean, there's like an inch and a half there, and that bait went up and under there. Nice fatty. Look at this is a fatty. Come here. All right. Look at the fatness. Maybe we'll show you. Let's let this one go. We'll sit down and we'll show you this guy. All right, I've teased you with a couple of fish catches. Let's show you a close-up look of this guy right here. This is the Core Tackle Weedless Straight Shank Wacky Shot Hook. And what makes this so cool is a couple of things. First off, the weight, again, is lowered down the shank of the hook, which then allows you to put the worm and the weight together, gives the bait a whole different fall than a traditional weighted wacky worm hook. And honestly, this is the 1/28 ounce size, so it barely weighs anything anyways. But it falls differently. With a weighted wacky shot hook, the weight always falls first. In this case, you can actually get the bait to fall as one unit, gives it a whole different look. But I got to tell you a couple of things that I love about this. The oversized hitchhiker is over the shank of the hook, so it allows you to center the worm perfectly every time. And because now the worm is also not just on a hitchhiker, but also on the shank of the hook, it locks into place. It really is difficult to get these baits to fall off, and they basically got to rip into two. And then, you know, one of the issues I've always had is finding a truly weedless wacky worm hooks. Generally, the weed guard's either too stiff where you lose fish, or it's the opposite where it's too soft and they're basically not even weedless. So we went with a single light wire weed guard here. You can trim it down to the exact size that you want, and it's going to give you a truly weedless presentation. And then obviously as well, I do not want to forget this point. We've got here a Trocar TK137 hook. It's an extremely popular hook, and we built this bait around it. So we've got a laser sharp hook here, an extremely high quality, made in America hook. And this thing is just an absolute killer. We love this thing. I would actually expect to probably come out with this in a non-weedless version as well. But for now, this is our weedless version. And I'm seeing a bass swimming by right now, so I'm gonna rig this up and hopefully catch a few more fish for you. I'm just gonna show you how easy it is to rig it. You just go through the center of the body wherever you want it, slide it down. I turn the weed guard up just a little bit, apply some pressure, and just twist it until it locks up by the weight. You know, you can trim the hitchhiker down a little bit if you want, because when you screw it up, depending on what worm you're using, when you screw it all the way up, you may end up having, you know, a little bit of the wire sticking out like down here. So you can trim that off if you want, and then just push the weed guard back down and you're ready to roll. That's another good one. Whoa. Come on. That's a nice one. That's the biggest of the day. That's a really nice fish for out here. Really chunky too. Come here. Oh, I would take that out here every day of the week, guys. That fish is pushing 4 pounds. Come on. I have to get the pliers. Oh. Look at that guy. Let's get him back. I love clear water. Look at him down there, just sitting there. That's a good one. He's going right back to the dock. Going right back in. Catch you again, maybe. Ooh, nice one. Come here. Gotta love a wacky. Nice one. This thing, I mean, we just designed it to be, you know, another just good solid wacky rig, but it's got to be, I've always wanted a weedless, like a truly weedless wacky rig, and I have not found one that I really liked. And if you guys watch my channel on a regular basis, you've known that because I talk about it. So we've just gone and created our own, and I'm in love with this thing. It's got you know, a fine wire weed guard, so from that standpoint it's stiffer than a lot of the little tiny bristle weed guards that you find on some of these supposed weedless wacky rigs that are out there, and it just holds up really good from that standpoint. But then we paired it up with a TK 137 by Trocar, so you got a laser sharp hook on it, and then we've got the weight moved up on it, or I should say still positioned down, I guess, from a traditional weighted wacky rig. So when you bring that weight down to where the worm's at, it gives the bait a different look, a different movement. The bait falls different. Instead of falling weight down, it tends to fall as one unit down. Just seems to get a ton of bites. I mean, it's already a great presentation, but just seems like it generates more bites than what a normal weighted one would be. And really, I mean, the one I'm using right now is a 1/28 ounce, so I wouldn't even really consider it truly a weighted wacky rig. It's got a tiny bit of weight on it, just enough to put our oversized hitchhiker on it, which keeps the worm locked into place. Let's catch another one. Get out of there. Get out of there. I'm going with a short leader here, guys. It's that's a good one too. Let's see. God, I love wacky rigging, and we're right at the end of the season because we're basically in the beginning of turnover. This water's generally clear. That's a chunk. And once turnover finishes, they're probably going deeper. There's another nice one. Come here. Chunky. For this lake, that's tournament grade fish. Look at, he tied my worm in a knot. It is, that's a good quality fish. And worm's still holding up good. We'll re-straighten her out. I don't know how he did that. He had that worm back through it 3 times. That's wild. So much fun. But yeah, we're coming to the end of this. And I will tell you, so like in that case, you know, there's so many poles. What you guys don't see is there's a lot of chains connecting poles. So I'm actually fishing a really short leader. It's about a 3-foot leader, just because there's no, you know, real reason. I'm only fishing a couple foot of water. And these fish generally, when they bite it, they hit it really quick. And I just, you know, we're in a lake with zebra mussels, and it'll just end up cutting you off. So I go with a shorter leader. It's probably closer to 4 feet, but just a little side tip. Ooh, get out of there. Thought that was gonna be a lot bigger. It's a nice one. For this lake, I'll take them for sure. Nice one. Well, guys, I think you've seen it. You might need to go check out the new core tackle Weedless Wacky shot. This worm is so beaten up and abused right now, and it will not let go. Look how beaten up the worm is. Basically white at this point. Just another great presentation for a wacky rig. Let's see if there's another one under that pontoon. Skips so good, makes your worms last longer, gives your bait a different action. All I can say, if you like the wacky rig, check them out. You can pick them up at our website. I'm sure we'll be shipping them to all the major retailers as well. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate all the support. The new core tackle Weedless straight shank wacky shot.